Today, JD and I are joining you to teach you one of our favorite skills that we also think can be one of the most powerful skills, and it's called validation. Validation is something that anyone can do with anyone in any situation, and it will help things. Today, though, we really want to specifically talk to parents about how they can use validation to help, particularly during mealtime and other challenging times of recovery. So validation has 6 different levels, and each level requires you to be more and more involved and active. The first level of validation is simply paying attention and being awake. I know that when I first heard about this level, I was like, easy, who doesn't do that? And I realized, who doesn't do that? I don't do that. I might be sitting at the table with my kids during dinner time. One of my kids struggles with extreme picky eating, and they're struggling through a meal, and I'm on my phone answering emails, not paying attention. So as you use this skill this week, start with level 1. See where you can be awake and paying attention, putting the phone down and being present with someone while they struggle. The second level of validation is called accurate reflection. And for these next 5 levels, JD and I are going to role play a little bit. So JD, I'd love for you to say something that was commonly said at dinner time or meal time at your house during recovery.
And I think it's commonly said at a lot of houses, so I think it's a really good one, is, oh my God, all you're doing is trying to control me. You just want to control me all the time.
You think that I want to control you all the time. That's accurate reflection. I'm just trying to say exactly what she said to me. The next level up, though, is saying what is unsaid. This is level 3. Let's see what that looks like.
Oh my God, you just want to control me.
You think that I want to control you, and this is so different than how things used to be when you would have control over all of these things. Any way that you would change that one, JD?
I would maybe just even add a little more context of, a month ago, you were able to drive your car everywhere you wanted without permission. A month ago, nobody was telling you you had to eat dinner.
Yeah, and what makes it so validating is you're saying, you are right. It makes sense that you feel this way. The 4th stage of validation is using past history or biology. Let's try that one out.
All you want to do is control me.
You think that I want to control you, and that must just feel awful because you're 16 years old and you have been able to be in control of so many of these things for so long. So yeah, it is me controlling things that I didn't control before. So acknowledging it and talking about it relative to biology. Level 5 is normalizing. This is one of my favorite ones.
You just want to control everything I do.
It makes total sense that you feel this way. I think any 16-year-old who is having to ask their parents permission to have a snack or eat what they want to eat would feel this exact same way as you. This is really a loss that you're experiencing, and any 16-year-old would feel this way too. Sometimes you can compare it to any 16-year-old, but sometimes you can also compare it to yourself. If this were happening to me when I was 16, I'd feel the exact same way you do. Level 6 of validation is radical genuineness. And this is when you are responding to them in a way that's not exhausted because you spent all this time making the meal and now they're just yelling at you and don't they recognize everything else you do. It's a way that you're just fully present and feeling what they feel and sharing from your own perspective. So let's give it a try.
Everything you do these days is just about controlling me.
It makes sense why it feels that way, and it's kind of true. You're right, I'm controlling so many things that I used to not control. And I can't even imagine how awful that feels as a 16-year-old. I know that so many of your friends don't have their parents controlling these things. I know you didn't have me controlling these things even 6 months ago. So what I was trying to do there is let them know that how they feel makes complete sense. Not trying to argue with them, not trying to say, well, I'm not trying to control you, or if only you ate your meal, I wouldn't have to control you. This is just about acknowledging it feels pretty crappy losing control when you used to have it. And we're talking about control here, but you can fill in the blank about all sorts of things that are hard for your child while they're working on their eating disorder treatment. Is there anything that I forgot that you wanted to add, JD?
No, I just think this is just one of those core interpersonal and effectiveness skills that once you start doing it with your child with an eating disorder, it will spill over into other areas of your life and it will really strengthen family relationships. I want to highlight one thing you did there was you didn't say, I know. you said, I can understand, I can imagine. And I think that's really important with teenagers, because having been a teenager, you really feel, eating disorder or not, that no parent knows. So I appreciate that piece of it.